I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today we're talking feedback. You know, you've given them feedback, but they're not doing anything with it. So how do I make sure the feedback I've given gets used? Want to know more? Get ready. Here we go. So here's the deal. You've given someone feedback and they're not doing it. And it's frustrating. And you're asking yourself, what do I do about this? Well, there's two things going on. First of all, the feedback has to be heard. And secondly, it needs to be valued. So let's talk about both of those things. And actually, let's talk about them from two perspectives. First of all, how do we prevent this from happening or reduce the chances that it happens? And secondly, what do we do after it's happened to perhaps cure the situation or solve the frustration that you're having? First of all, prevention. So first of all, it's got to be heard. So think about the situation that you're in. Think about the way that you're actually saying the words. Are they hearing you? Can they physically, or are they physically taking it in? That's only half of the battle. Second thing is they may have heard it. They just don't appreciate it, or they don't value it, or they don't believe it. So let's talk about where the feedback's coming from as to whether people will value it or not. Three places. It can come from a place of position or power. You're the boss, and at some level, people are going to listen to you because you're the boss, but that only takes you so far. There's also the source of expertise. If people think you know something about the subject, they're much more likely to listen to you and value your expertise and advice. And third is from the perspective of relationship. I mean, let's face it. There's some people that you value their feedback about topics they know nothing about, simply because of your relationship with them, right? It doesn't really even matter about the expertise or about anything else. It's just because of the relationship. And so here's the thing. If you're giving feedback and people aren't doing anything with it, it might be that they're not hearing you, but it also might be that they're not valuing you. Think about position, think about expertise, think about relationship. You've got one as a leader. The other two you must earn and you can build over time. But you're saying, Kevin, that's not where we started. We started with, I've given the feedback, they're not doing anything, what do I do? So all that's about preventing the situation in the future, but what do I do right now? Well, the best thing you can do right now, if that's the situation, is, number one, think again about value and heard. Did they actually hear you? So maybe they need to hear it again. Maybe, though, what you need to do is think a little bit first from your own perspective. Have they done it and aren't repeating it? If that's the case, it's a habit issue, right? If maybe they don't feel like they have the confidence or skill yet. So maybe you don't go back in and say, I gave you this feedback, why aren't you doing it? But rather to say, hey, how is it going? What's going on? How can I further help you? Think about it, come at it from that perspective. Get out of yourself and into them, because in the end, the feedback's not about you, it's about them. And so it doesn't matter whether you've said it 12 times, it only matters whether they've heard it, and accepted it. So how can you focus on that rather than on them? So it's really, what do I need to do, as opposed to why aren't they doing something? You want people to take the advice, take the feedback that you've given them. You've got to make sure that they've heard it, but more importantly, that they valued it. When you do those things, you have a lot better chance for success. Here's today's tweet. If you want your feedback to be used, make sure your message is heard and valued. Only then do you have a chance at success. If you've got a question for me that you'd like to have answered in a future episode, send us an email and we'll get it on the list. That email is questions@kevineikenberry.com. We will look forward to getting those from you. Hey, if you valued today's ideas, if this was useful to you, then I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel so you can get future videos. And also, I'd really appreciate it if you'd choose to share this video link with others. Why not think of 3 friends or colleagues that could get benefit from this, send it on to them, and then here's what's happened. I'm happy because you did that, they're happy because you sent it and you thought of them, and you're happy because you made us happy. Everybody wins. If you want to be a more effective leader, you got to be a better coach. And of course, giving feedback that people can hear and use and value is only a small part of coaching. So if you want to work on your coaching skills, we've got a fabulous 2-day workshop designed just for that. I'd love to have you join me to work on your coaching skills, building your ability to be a more effective coach of others in that 2-day workshop. You can come to a public workshop, or you can have us bring the workshop to you.